That familiar buzz from your phone. That text message that lights up your screen with a cascade of colorful emojis. It's an invitation, a celebration, a birthday dinner for a beloved grandchild, a long overdue lunch with dear friends you haven't seen in months, an anniversary celebration at that special place. And in that first moment, there's a wave of pure, unadulterated joy. Of course we'll be there. It's a chance to connect, to laugh, to make memories. But then, a few seconds later, for so many of us on a dedicated health journey, a second wave hits. It's not as warm. It's a quiet, creeping feeling of anxiety that starts in the pit of your stomach. The joy is suddenly mixed with a dose of dread. Your mind starts racing with a torrent of questions. La trattoria? An Italian restaurant? What will I possibly be able to eat there that won't undo all my hard work? What about all the salt in the pasta sauce? The butter glistening on the bread? The enormous portion sizes? The questions spiral. Will I have to be that person at the table again, the difficult one, asking a million questions and holding everyone up? Or will I just have to surrender and order another boring, plain grilled chicken salad and watch everyone else truly enjoy their meal? If this internal conflict sounds familiar, you are in exactly the right place. And let me validate your concerns right now. You are not wrong to be worried. The modern restaurant experience can feel like a minefield for anyone trying to protect their heart health. The average restaurant meal in the United States can easily contain over 1,500 calories and, staggeringly, more than a full day's worth of sodium, sometimes exceeding 3,000 or 4,000 milligrams in a single plate. That's double or triple the ideal limit. For example, a single plate of fettuccine alfredo at a popular chain restaurant can have the same amount of saturated fat as 2 cheeseburgers and more sodium than 30 strips of bacon. Even a healthy-sounding Cobb salad can be a trap with its high-fat dressing, bacon, and salty blue cheese, often clocking in at over 1,000 calories. Why is this? You have to understand that a restaurant's primary goal is not your long-term health. It's to create a hyper-palatable, memorable experience that makes you want to come back. And the fastest, cheapest way to create that wow factor is with the 3 pillars of restaurant flavor: salt, fat, and sugar. These ingredients are culinary shortcuts that hit the bliss point in our brains, but they are the very things the D.A.S.H diet teaches us to manage carefully. So it can feel like your health goals and the joy of dining out are in direct opposition. Let's go back to our couple, David and Susan. They received that exact text message from their son. Mia's 10th birthday dinner this Friday at La Trattoria. Hope you can make it. Susan's heart soared at the thought of celebrating her precious granddaughter, but then she saw the restaurant's name. Her heart sank just a little. She pictured the scene in her mind, the waiter arriving with a basket of warm, crusty bread, glistening with butter and sprinkled with sea salt. She imagined the giant, family-style plates of pasta swimming in creamy, cheesy sauces. She felt that familiar sense of her control slipping away. She and David had worked so hard over the last year to build healthy habits at home, to master their kitchen, to see their blood pressure numbers finally, wonderfully, improve. She felt a fierce desire to protect that progress. That evening, she said to David, "I'm so excited for Mia's birthday, but I'm worried about the restaurant. I don't want to be difficult and interrogate the waiter about every ingredient, but I also don't want one meal to undo a whole week of our hard work." David nodded. He felt it too. He didn't want to feel like an outsider at his own granddaughter's party, carefully picking at a plain piece of fish while everyone else celebrated. This dilemma, the desire to participate fully in the joyous moments of life versus the dedication to protect one's health, is the very core of what we're tackling today. In today's video, we're going to transform you from a worried diner into a confident, skilled food diplomat. A diplomat is someone who navigates tricky situations with grace, knowledge, and confidence to achieve their goals without causing conflict. That's exactly what we're going to teach you to do. We will give you a universal 5-step strategy that works at a NY restaurant. Then, we'll take a world tour of popular cuisines to show you exactly what to order. This is your passport to dining freedom. You will learn that you can, and you should, enjoy both the food and the company, guilt-free and full of joy. Let's learn how to dine out the smart way. The secret to stress-free dining isn't about memorizing every single good and bad food on the planet. That's impossible and exhausting. The secret is having a universal strategy, a reliable toolkit that you can take with you to any restaurant at any time. This 5-step plan is your roadmap to confidence. It's the exact plan that will take you from feeling anxious, like David and Susan, to feeling empowered and in control. Let's break it down. Step 1. Do your homework. This is perhaps the single most important step, and it happens before you even leave your house. Never walk into a restaurant blind. In today's world, virtually every restaurant has its menu posted online. Take 5 minutes in the calm of your own home to pull it up on your computer or phone. Why is this so critical? It's about reducing what psychologists call cognitive load. When you're at the dinner table, there's a lot going on. You're trying to listen to the conversation. Your friends are asking you questions. The waiter is standing there waiting, and there's pressure to make a quick decision. That is the worst possible environment to try and make a complex, healthy choice. By reviewing the menu beforehand, you eliminate all that pressure. You can calmly look up any unfamiliar ingredients and identify 2 or 3 solid, D.A.S.H-friendly options. Let's follow Susan as she does her homework for Mia's birthday dinner. She sits down at her kitchen table, clicks on the link to La Trattoria, and bypasses the glossy photos of lasagna. She scrolls right down to the main courses. She sees the fettuccine Alfredo and immediately knows that's a danger zone. But then, her eyes land on a section called Pesce alla Griglia, grilled fish. She sees a grilled salmon option. Perfect. She keeps looking and spots chicken cacciatore, a dish made with a tomato and vegetable sauce. She makes a mental note. Option 1, grilled salmon with a side of vegetables. Option 2, chicken cacciatore. Just like that, a wave of relief washes over her. She's going in with a plan. Step 2, become a menu detective. Once you're looking at the menu either at home or at the restaurant, you need to know the code words. Restaurant menus use descriptive language to make food sound appealing, and those words are powerful clues to how the food is prepared. First, look for the golden words. These are your green lights, signaling healthier cooking methods. Words like grilled, roasted, baked, broiled, steamed, poached, or sautéed. These methods use dry heat or water, not excessive amounts of fat. Look for descriptions like fresh tomato sauce or served with seasonal vegetables. Just as importantly, you need to spot the danger words. These are your red flags that signal high levels of sodium, saturated fat, and calories. Be wary of fried, crispy, battered, or breaded. These all mean the food has been deep fried in oil. Words like creamy, Alfredo, carbonara, or bisque signal a heavy cream or cheese-based sauce. Glazed, teriyaki, barbecue, or sweet and sour often mean a sauce that is very high in both sugar and sodium. And finally, words like au gratin, scalloped, or smothered usually mean the dish is covered in cheese and or a heavy sauce and baked. By learning this language, you can disqualify unhealthy options in seconds. Step 3. Master the art of special requests. This step can be the hardest for many of us, especially for older generations who were raised not to make a fuss. I want you to change your mindset right now. You are not being difficult. You are being a clear communicator and an informed customer. You are paying for a meal and a service. A polite, reasonable request to accommodate a health need is a standard part of good service in today's world. Here are 3 simple, polite scripts you can memorize and use. The most powerful one is asking for things on the side. Could I please have the sauce or dressing on the side? This puts you in complete control. The direct approach. Could you please ask the chef to use no added salt when preparing the fish? I'm on a low-sodium diet. Stating your health reason makes it a legitimate medical request, not just a preference. The smart substitution. Instead of the fries, could I please substitute a side salad or the steamed vegetables? Nearly every restaurant in America can and will do this for you. This is the step David was most worried about. But armed with a script, he felt ready. He knew he could confidently order his chicken cacciatore and simply say, "That sounds wonderful. Could I make one small request?" Would it be possible for the chef to prepare it with a light hand on the salt? It's polite, clear, and respectful. Step 4. Control your portions. It's no secret that restaurant portions in the U.S. have exploded over the last 30 years. What a restaurant calls a single serving is often enough food for 2 or even 3 people. The key is to decide on your portion size, not let the restaurant decide for you. Tactic 1 is the half and half method. The moment your beautiful but enormous plate of food arrives, immediately ask your server for a to-go box. Before you take your first bite, mentally divide the dish in half and put one half directly into the box. Then put the box aside. What's left on your plate is now a reasonable portion, and you've just packed a delicious, already paid-for lunch for tomorrow. It's a brilliant 2-for-1 strategy. Tactic 2 is the appetizer as main strategy. Often, you can find a healthy, reasonably portioned meal in the appetizer section. Ordering a large bowl of minestrone or black bean soup with a side salad, or a shrimp cocktail with a side of steamed asparagus, can make a perfect and satisfying main course. Step 5. Navigate the extras. Finally, let's talk about the things that appear on the table that you didn't even order. The biggest culprit is the bread basket. This is the mindless munching trap. We often eat it not because we're truly hungry, but simply because it's there. The best strategy is prevention. When your server greets you, you can politely say, "We're all set. You don't need to bring any bread for us, thank you." And what about dessert? The D.A.S.H diet is about moderation, not deprivation. The smartest strategy is to share. Suggest one dessert for the whole table to share. Everyone gets a few satisfying bites without overdoing it. Or conclude your meal with a refreshing bowl of fresh fruit or sorbet. With this 5-step toolkit in your pocket, you are no longer a passive diner at the mercy of the menu. You are the confident, proactive CEO of your own plate. Now that you have the universal strategy, let's put it into practice. This is the fun part. We're going on a D.A.S.H world tour to look at some of the most popular cuisines in America. A health journey shouldn't mean giving up the joy of exploring different cultures through food. It just means becoming a smarter traveler. Destination number 1, the Italian restaurant. This was the restaurant that David and Susan were worried about for their granddaughter's birthday. The key to navigating an Italian menu is understanding the difference between traditional Italian cooking and American Italian food. True Italian cuisine often celebrates simple, fresh ingredients. American Italian cuisine tends to be much heavier, with larger portions and a lot more cheese and cream. So what are your best bets? First, look for dishes cooked with simple, fresh sauces. Anything with a marinara sauce, tomato-based, or a primavera sauce, loaded with fresh vegetables, is an excellent choice. A classic dish like chicken cacciatore is another winner, as it's braised in a flavorful sauce of tomatoes, onions, herbs, and bell peppers. If you see soup on the menu, minestrone is fantastic. It's packed with vegetables and beans. And for a main course, you could almost never go wrong with pes alla griglia grilled fish, often served simply with lemon herbs. When you order, you can confirm with your server, does the grilled salmon come with a simple lemon and herb sauce, or is it a cream sauce? Now, what do you need to watch out for? The biggest red flags are the creamy, cheesy dishes. A dish like fettuccine alfredo is a triple threat of butter, heavy cream, and parmesan. Also, be cautious with any dish ending in Parmigiana, like chicken or veal Parmigiana. Let's deconstruct that. The protein is first breaded, then deep fried, and finally smothered in salty tomato sauce and high-fat mozzarella cheese. It checks all the boxes of what we want to limit. Also be mindful of risotto, which is often cooked with large amounts of butter, cheese, and salty broth. Destination number 2, the Mexican restaurant. Authentic Mexican food is a celebration of fresh ingredients: chiles, cilantro, lime, corn, tomatoes, and avocados. The challenge is often the Americanized versions, which can be a festival of salt, lard, and cheese. Your best bets here are dishes that highlight those fresh ingredients. Fajitas are a fantastic choice because you assemble them yourself. Here's your script. I'd like the grilled chicken or shrimp fajitas, please. Could you ask the chef to use no added salt on the chicken and vegetables? And instead of the sour cream and cheese, could I have extra pico de gallo and guacamole? Pico de gallo is just fresh chopped tomatoes, onions, and cilantro. It's perfect. And guacamole, in moderation, provides wonderful healthy fats. Other great choices include grilled fish tacos on corn tortillas, not fried, black bean soup, and ceviche. What to watch out for? The first challenge arrives before you even order: the complimentary basket of tortilla chips. Think of this as the bread basket of the Mexican restaurant. They are often incredibly high in sodium. The best strategy? Politely ask your server not to bring them. Out of sight, out of mind. Also be cautious with refried beans, which are often made with lard and salt. Ask for whole black beans instead. Destination number 3, the Chinese restaurant. This can be one of the trickiest cuisines due to the high sodium content in many sauces, particularly from soy sauce and sometimes MSG. So what are your best bets? Your magic word here is steamed. Almost every Chinese restaurant offers steamed dishes. Ask for steamed chicken, shrimp, or tofu with mixed vegetables. This is your safest and healthiest bet. The key is what you do next. You must use this script. It is very important that all sauces, including any soy sauce, are served on the side. I am on a very strict low-sodium diet. This is clear and non-negotiable. This way, you can add just a tiny amount for flavor. Also, always ask for steamed brown rice instead of white rice if it's available. What to watch out for? Your biggest enemies are the thick, gloopy, often sweet and salty sauces. Let's deconstruct a popular dish like General Tso's chicken. The chicken is battered and deep fried. Then, it's coated in a sauce that is loaded with sugar, soy sauce, sodium, and cornstarch. While delicious, it's a nutritional nightmare for heart health. Be wary of any dish described as crispy, sweet, and sour, or with a thick, dark sauce. Also, avoid fried rice, egg rolls, and lo mein, as they are often very high in sodium and oil. We've covered the universal strategies, and we've toured the world through different cuisines. Now for the final and most important part of our journey today. Let's go back to where we started, with David and Susan on their way to their granddaughter Mia's 10th birthday dinner at La Trattoria. As they walked in, surrounded by the wonderful smells of garlic and baking bread, Susan admitted she felt that familiar, fleeting moment of anxiety. But this time, something was different. She wasn't walking in blind, she was walking in with a plan. She was armed with knowledge. When the server, a cheerful young woman, came to their table, the moment of truth arrived. The old Susan would have nervously scanned the menu, defaulted to a plain salad, and felt a little left out. The new Susan was ready. When it was her turn to order, she smiled warmly at the server and said, clearly and calmly, "I'll have the grilled salmon, please. And for my side, could I have the steamed broccoli instead of the potatoes?" "It looks wonderful, thank you." Then it was David's turn. He too felt a new sense of confidence. He knew exactly what he wanted and how to ask for it. "The chicken cacciatore sounds delicious," he said. "I'd like to order that, and could I just make one small request?" Would it be possible for the chef to prepare it with a light hand on the salt? And what did the server do? Did she roll her eyes? Did she act annoyed? No. She simply nodded and said, "Of course, sir. Not a problem at all. I'll let the chef know." In that moment, David and Susan realized their biggest fear, the fear of being difficult, was entirely in their own heads. They had been polite, clear, and respectful, and in return, they received professional and courteous service. With the stress of ordering gone, a weight was lifted. They were free. Free to focus on what truly mattered: the glowing candles on Mia's birthday cake, the funny story their son was telling, the pure joy on their granddaughter's face as she opened her presents. The food arrived, and it was delicious. But for the first time in a long time, the food was just the pleasant backdrop to the evening, not the stressful main event. Later, as they were walking to their car under the starry night sky, Susan turned to David and said, "You know, that was the first time in years I've gone out to eat and didn't feel worried. I actually enjoyed myself completely. That feeling, that freedom, is the true goal of everything we've learned today." For many of us, especially in our generation, we were taught to be accommodating, not to cause a fuss, to be easygoing guests. But advocating for your health is not making a fuss. It is an act of profound self-respect. Think about it. You wouldn't hesitate to tell your pharmacist that you're allergic to penicillin. You wouldn't feel difficult asking your doctor to explain the side effects of a new medication. Communicating your dietary needs to a server is exactly the same. It is a critical, responsible part of managing your own health care. You are not a picky eater. You are an informed patient. By using these strategies, by learning these simple scripts, you are putting yourself back in the driver's seat of your own health journey, no matter where you are. And while we focused on the D.A.S.H diet today, these skills apply to managing diabetes, food allergies, celiac disease, or any health-conscious lifestyle. This is a skill for life. Because the ultimate goal of learning how to dine out smartly isn't just to eat a perfect low-sodium meal. The ultimate goal is to remove the anxiety so that you can focus on what truly nourishes your soul: the laughter, the stories, the human connection with the people you love. The food is just the backdrop. The memories you make are always the main course. So as we've seen from David and Susan's triumphant birthday dinner, it is absolutely possible to enjoy the social joy of dining out while staying completely true to your health goals. It all comes down to having a plan and the confidence to use it. Let's quickly recap our powerful 5-step universal strategy that you can use at any restaurant. First, you do your homework. Second, you become a menu detective. Third, you master the art of polite and confident special requests. Fourth, you take back control of portion sizes. And fifth, you learn to navigate the extras with intention and mindfulness. This 5-step toolkit is your passport to dining freedom. It puts you in the driver's seat, empowers you to make conscious choices, and most importantly, it removes the fear, allowing you to be present and enjoy the moments that truly matter. And that brings us to our community. This lab isn't just a one-way street. It's a place where we all learn from each other's experiences and wisdom. So I have 2 questions for you today. First, what is your biggest challenge when eating out? Is it dealing with portion sizes, avoiding salt, or something else entirely? And second, do you have a go-to healthy dish you successfully order at a specific type of restaurant? Share your wisdom in the comments below. Your tip could be the exact breakthrough that someone else in our community needs to hear. If this guide gave you the confidence to enjoy dining out again, please give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps the channel reach more people who might need this information. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to Senior Health Lab and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next masterclass. Thank you for joining us today on this world tour. Until next time, stay curious, stay healthy,